Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Ian Saturday Night. Today was an action-packed day, or maybe not so action-packed for the average mortal, but action-packed for me. I woke up, my aide was down in the dumps, I didn't know what to do, so I went to the movies out in Searstown, and I saw Deadpool. It was an entertaining movie, a little heavy on the gore, but it makes for a solid outing with Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds. What did I do? And I went to the movie, and it was a solitary experience. I was almost the only one there, but the ramp went smoothly. It worked like a charm, air-conditioned comforts, and I was able to keep my cool and to keep my chair steady. I didn't bump into anything or embarrass myself. Then I went back home, and I got a coffee, and then I went back home, and then I went to the Mediterranean restaurant and got chicken escandar to go. And that went off without a hitch. Excuse me, folks. That went off without a hitch, without a choking spell, as I think about. I'm still continuing on with my projects, going to film school, but I don't know. I want to go very, very, very much, in a way, but in a way, I don't think that I have quite the psychological stamina. I don't know. That remains to be seen. But I do know I'm teaching the history of surrealism in February, so that's my teaching job that I have coming up, where I'll discuss the impact of surrealism on Andy Warhol and the pop artists. Because as you might know, I'm interested in surrealism, and I think the last hallmark of surrealism is embedded in advertising and movies, and that's what my course is going to show. This might not be a laugh riot to admit that I'm going to be part of this class, but I'm going to make it a laugh riot. Tim Burton doesn't have anything on me. So, that's what's going on. I take from day to day. I'll be honest and say when I wake up in the morning, I don't know if I'm going to be jumping for joy, or maybe the word, in my point of view, is being spastic with joy, because I can't jump. So actually, I've never been jumping for joy. I quiver with joy. I quiver. I'm a quiverer. I'm not a jumper. So I'm spastic. I haven't been spastic with joy in a long time. I don't know what to say about my romantic state. I would say I'm in a state of limbo. I haven't seen my romantic interest in 2 years, and I've been guarding my heart, thinking that I'll never see her again. But that's just the way things are, and things were very, very dramatic, as I detailed in my past entries in Mexico City. That's a very dreamlike and upsetting adventure that occurred at the end, because it was so sudden and such an about-face. She basically refused to speak to me and turned her back to me and didn't speak to me for the whole night over a delayed flight, to be quite honest. And it was completely out of my control, and it still haunts me. Some of you might say forget about it and treat it like light stuff, but under the circumstances, as I just proposed to her, that's a hard thing to get over. Especially not the last night for 10 hours straight, staring at her backside, not having no words exchanged. It's kind of a very surrealistic experience. That being said, I still think about her, I have to say. And I'm very transparent with myself. I know myself, and I know that I'm a hanger-oner. I hang on a lot to things. This is not good, or it's not bad. It's just the way I am. I'm a creature of routine, and once I'm embedded into something, it's quite hard to let go. And it became part of my artwork and my stories that I write. So it's very, 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 those images are hard to let go, and they're hard to forget. And she's hard to forget, and all those things. And it cost me a friendship in Savannah, but all I was doing regarding my friendship in Savannah with this person that I shared a lot of memories with, a first girlfriend, and she took it the wrong way, and she said she didn't want to speak to me again. I'm talking about the relationship I had in 1996. She said, I reached out to her, and she said she didn't want to speak to me again for whatever reason. She said she felt weird that I was reaching out to her about the situation in Mexico City. So I felt like I lost two friends for the price of one, in other words. So it's a very existential situation. I don't know quite what to do or say about it, but I go one day at a time, and that's when I got the idea to go to film school and to make something out of my very incredible situation. So they say all artists suffer, and I know that's true, but it just seems like I'm under some kind of crazy star, or some kind of a predetermined kind of a problem, or some kind of cosmic obstacle. I feel like I'm inside a cosmic obstacle, not of my design. So it's a very unusual situation, but I'm keeping my heart open, and I'm waiting for what comes next. In other words, I'm doing the best I can on my application, and we'll see what happens. I paint and I write. I haven't painted in quite some time because of my studio at home is kind of a mess, and I haven't had the ease of mind to think about painting, but I have many painting ideas in my head, so that's good. I usually paint watercolor or gouache, but I do like oil painting. So when I get to my table on South Street, I will think about another painting. Also, I have a collaboration with my friend Karen in the works. I have an idea for that. So I will get to work on that if that is meant to be. Certainly it's foremost in my mind. I also think about spiritual matters quite a bit. I think about the paranormal, and I also think about extraterrestrials from time to time, because my uncle, who I won't name, but my uncle has had direct experience with some kind of unidentified flying phenomena. He was very frightened, and I don't want to pester him at all, but I'm very curious. So I've been researching that from time to time, particularly the writings of Whitley Strieber. He's a wonderful writer, and I encourage you to seek him out if you're interested in the idea of extraterrestrials. I'm not really concerned too much about the future. Just go from day to day. I have feelings of wanting to go to new locations, but I don't know quite how to go about it, considering I was supposed to go to St. Augustine, but that fell flat for various reasons, and some of the reasons are understandable, and some of the reasons I feel are not understandable, but it all ends up being totally understandable because that's the way life is. And if it wasn't understandable, it would never have happened in the first place. It feels like I've said a mouthful there of nonsensical opposing thoughts, but it makes sense when you think about it. If it wasn't supposed to happen, it wouldn't be understandable. So therefore it is understandable, and it did happen. I also think about Bill Murray when Bill Murray said, "It just doesn't matter." Perhaps it doesn't matter, but I feel like romance is so important to me because it relates to creativity and wanting to make something, so I'm going to hold on to the spirit of romance. And I often think about, if I were honest with myself, I would just say, I want to visit St. Augustine. I don't want to think about the end of things, but I do want to visit St. Augustine because I don't want our last moment together to be when she turned away from me. In my mind, in my dreams, that's a sequence that plays over and over in my mind, in reality and dream life, and it really did happen to me. She basically turned away from me. I don't even remember saying goodbye to her. She got mad at me, I burst into tears, and she turned away. So, at least that's as much as I remember, because, to be honest, it felt like a orgasm. I've said this a couple times in my past entries, but it completely felt like an orgasm of sadness, and that's something hard to erase, especially since I haven't seen the lady in question for 2 years. So all this stuff has taken a dreamlike quality in my mind, very much like a femme fatale or an Andy Warhol ice goddess, maybe like Nico from the Velvet Underground, because my girlfriend, she's a Germanophile too. She loved Germany. I don't know if that's the right word, Germanophile, but I'm going to use it. So she was enamored of Germany. So in my mind, she doesn't have a quality of Nico about her. But maybe that, I'm a fanciful person. I think a lot about fantasy. So in my mind, she is very much a Nico person. She's a Latina Nico person. And I don't mean that in a bad way. But she's still in my romantic imagination. And I also things about me, I enjoy making people feel good and being generous. So that's also a quality I have about me. That's also can be problematic, but because you can give too much, but it makes me feel good. So that is also a quality about me. I don't think I don't think I'm a materialistic person, but I enjoy giving to others. And I didn't have soup for lunch today. I usually always have soup, but today I didn't have soup. I skipped lunch because I was at the movies, and then I had Mediterranean food, chicken and scander. Okay, everybody, I left you 16 minutes and 18 seconds of confusion and romantic meanderings. So I will bid you adieu until next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Good night, and I'll see you next week. Good night, everybody.